All right, 8th grade, here I am to give you the most important literary term I'm going to talk about for the Inn of Lost Time. And this is the concept of parallelism, which I believe you've already discussed with Mr. Kravitz, where you've talked about how you have similar sentence structure. I went swimming, hiking, and playing. See, I kept all my verbs structured the same way that it is. I didn't say I went on a hike, I went to play. I'm no longer have parallelism there. That's parallel sentence structure where your formatting is consistent. And we can see this in literature too. In literature, parallelism is where similar concepts are revisited at different points in the story to impress certain ideas on the reader. It structures the narrative through repetition or inversion. So with To Kill a Mockingbird, I talked about how Bob Ewell and Tom Robinson are parallel inverses. And those of you who know math, you're thinking, okay, parallel. On different planes, never going to touch, but otherwise identical. Inverse, the opposite direction. Boom. Your math knowledge should be kicking in here. Parallelism can be done in the written format. To err is human, to forgive divine. To quote Alexander Pope, that's another example of parallel inversion, where we're taking the same event, or the same sentence, and then we're inverting it to show a contrast, to emphasize that to the reader. This is done to impress certain ideas on the reader, and we're going to see this done through an extraordinarily popular movie series. I'm going to pull up 3 images from this series to prove my point. So this first image comes from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, in which an infant Luke Skywalker is held by his Aunt Beru and his Uncle Owen as they stare off at a binary sunset, signaling here is the start of Luke Skywalker's story and the end of Anakin Skywalker's story. Here is from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, in which a teenage Luke Skywalker looks at a parallel sunset, a binary sunset, and here it's the start of his heroic journey. This is the start of his transition from being a farm boy to being an adventurer, a Jedi who will save the universe. Which brings us to our last one, which is from Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, in which Luke Skywalker comes to the end of his heroic journey, and there again, he is looking at a binary sunset right before the end. And yeah, I even have a nice little GIF there for you guys. So you can see parallelism. It draws attention to certain points in the reader's story. And like it clearly tells the reader that, oh, this is a major point in Luke's story because he's taking a moment to look at the sunset. Again, drawing in that emphasis of where he's from, what he's about. And it's a nice way to bookend your story. It ends how it began. We're going to see parallelism in some of the stories that are told in the Inn of Lost Time. And we might see some parallel inverses as well. I really thought it would have been nice if maybe in The Last Jedi, instead of Luke seeing a binary sunset, he saw a binary sunrise. End of his journey, but the start of something new, new day. But that's beside the point, and that's my little quibbles with Star Wars. So if you have questions, I am over on Twitch. That is a great way to ask me questions, and we will be talking about the Inn of Lost Time in the next video.